Trading futures, options on futures, and forex involves a substantial risk of loss and isn't suitable for all investors. Past performance, whether actual or indicated by historical tests of strategies, is no guarantee of future performance or success. There's a possibility that you may sustain a loss equal or greater than your entire investment, regardless of which asset class you trade. Therefore, you should not invest or risk any money you couldn't afford to lose. When you log into the Trading Room service, there are 3 tabs on the page. Clicking the first tab takes you into the trading room. Remember to click the unmute button on the player to hear the sound. To use the chat area, start to type in the message box. You'll then be asked to log in. Select the Login as a guest option to get started. When you click the second tab, you access the session archives. These go back for a rolling 1 month, so you have 30 days to access any of the sessions. Finally, clicking the third tab gives you access to the month's trading performance. There are 3 sections. The first shows the last month's performance. The second shows the performance for the year to date. And the third section shows the last 20 trades in detail. Subscription to the Trading Room includes access to the private WhatsApp group. To join, scan this barcode with your smartphone. It's also on the Trading Room homepage.
Right. Hello, everyone. Today is the 21st of February, 2023. We're going to start the live trading room presented to you by Trade to Win, Trade Guider. If you're in the room and you can hear me okay, please do let me know. Waiting for people to sign in. I can see some people still trying to log in. Try to log in into the chat area so you can let me know. Yeah. Hi, Jeff. How are you? Hi, Martin. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Liz. Hi, Tim. Yeah. Hi, Ahmed. Hi, Abdul. Excellent. And also the people in the other side as well. Hi, James. Hi, Hamid. Hi, Paul. Excellent. It seems to be okay. Everything is all right. And let's get on with it and see what's going to happen today. We're going to be looking at some charts, obviously. And before we do that, we're going to be looking at some Forex Factory news that are out today at around 1:30 on the Canadian dollar. There's some news coming out. There's a lot of major news, as I said yesterday. There's a lot of major news going to come out this week, so we need to be aware of them. Vitally important. I mean, we had at 9:30 on GBP, we had a good move. I did some trades during that time on the fund, flashing manufacturing PMI and flash services PMI as well. Now we're going to have some news coming out later on today around 1:30 and just under an hour here to go. On the Canadian dollar, so some CPI news coming out month by month and also on the retail sales and the core retail sales. There's a lot of news coming on the Canadian dollar, which is definitely going to affect the Canadian dollar against the USD chart, which we'll keep an eye on. And also at 245 in the US, we're going to have flash services PMI as well. So apart from that, really after 3 o'clock, there's not much news coming out. There's only the last news at 3 o'clock existing home sales in the US and of course the PMI as well, which happens, as I say, on 245. So after 3 o'clock, there's not much major news coming out anymore. But it's good to be aware of these news and always have a look and see. So you don't really want to get into a trade during, in and around the news purely because of the volatility. It's just to be aware of and obviously, you know, it's important. You don't want to be in a trade during that time. Right. Osama, hello. I hope you're okay as well. Let me just introduce Osama to everyone in the room. Osama is going to be doing the is part of Trade Guider in Egypt and is responsible for the Middle East part. Welcome, Osama. I have added you to the WhatsApp group now, so it should be okay now for you. I've already added everything. Thank you very much for your email as well. And Richard did tell me about your involvement with the company. Welcome aboard. And yeah, so let's And the way it works, for those of you who knew, I know there are a lot of new subscribers into the room. And the way it works, please try to log in into the back end and log in into the chat area. And as the instructions tells you on a beginning of each class or each session, explains to you exactly how to do that. It's quite easy. You log in and there's a tab easily there for you to join onto the chat area, so you can actually put in your charts and ask any questions in regards to the VSL Lite methodology. I'm using the VSL Lite currently. It's been successful. So the principles are the same, and it doesn't matter which software you're using. As long as you're using the VSA methodology, then you'll be fine. Yeah, Osama is the reseller for Middle East as well for everyone, so that's great. Right, so now with the news done, let's go into the charts and have a look. Let's have a look at the GBP USD. And let me just get rid of these for now. That was yesterday. And I'm going to start with the daily chart. And still that potential professional buying was in effect in September. And as you remember, when you were in part of the live trading room, we were mainly doing long trades for the pound when it came down to this level, which almost became parity to the US dollar, but never got there. And that was the point where I felt when this potential professional buying did appear with a very decent volume, you can see that it pushed up and we were actually trading this on the long. But now, as I was saying to everyone, I think the pound will come back down. We are on a decline at the moment. And really, at the moment, you can see on a chart that if I just expanded a bit, you had a couple of PSs appear. One didn't get confirmed, but the previous one did get confirmed with a decent volume. And the test obviously got confirmed. We are inside the trigger line. And if this would have continued to push up above the trigger line, then there would have been a buying process. But as it is, really, the market is not going up. We are on a downtrend. We are below the trigger line. And yesterday, the bar finished. There's no interest. You see that? With the relative volume, you can see there's no interest of buying. Really, I feel I was speaking to my friend who is a professional trader, and he said the pound, they're trying to mark it up. But he said we all see it, that this will come down, and there's no really, you should be really preparing for selling the pound against USD rather than buying. And of course, our chart is showing that. We are below the trigger line, and currently we are running on an up bar at the moment. Of course, we've got another 9 hours to finish this particular bar. As you can appreciate, each pip finishes in a day on this chart. So really, for us, what we want to do, we want to have a look on the lower time frame for the scalp side. And I potentially want to trade this. Potentially, if I have opportunities on the upside, I want to long trade this. But when I say long trade it, is a scalp trading. So we don't want to stay and hang around too much in a trade. And I will show you, if I get the opportunity, how you do scalp trading in the lower time frames. Now, as far as the swing trading goes, and if you're a swing trader and you do, say, for example, the 4-hour chart, you got potential professional buying has appeared, got confirmed, decent volume. But if I look at the background to see what's going on, I can see gradually it's coming down. We're getting low and then getting lower lows. Okay, and the high are getting lower. So this is a telltale sign that this market is gradually coming down. But obviously they're not going to make it obvious and suddenly bring it down. If that was the case, then everybody would make money in the market. But we can actually analyze this and say, if you're a swing trader on a 4-hourly chart, what do you want to do? Well, on this particular chart, if this continues to push up above that trigger line, and you get a sign of strength coming in, and you get tests and shakeouts getting confirmed. Not this test didn't get confirmed. And but if it does continue to push up above this trigger line, which is 1.2222 level, and you get continuous strength behind you, and then you get a test or a shakeout appearing, or the two together, then yes, we might be able to look for a long position. But I really don't see that happening in the pound. So until then, I will be considering, because I'm below the trigger line, I'll be only considering for short trades. I'm not going to be trading long trades on this particular chart, because I can see the trend is generally down. They try to push it up. The volume is not there as they try to push it up. And that's a sign of weakness. And when you got selling going on, you get increasing volumes as well. Okay. So now on the 4-hour chart, there's no setup yet. You need to be very patient with the 4-hour chart. 1-hour chart, I particularly don't trade the 4-hour and 1-hour chart. I do the half-an-hour chart, which I will go over as well in the fund. But as you can see, look, on the hourly chart, what do you see? They try to bring it down gradually. The low are getting lower and the highs are getting lower. Okay, so really for me, I want to see a opportunity on a downside. I do not want to trade this on a long as a swing trader. Okay, let me just re-emphasize that. As a scalp trader on a lower time frame, which I will show you, there are potential trades to take on a long when you have this period happening, so you can get opportunity to do long trades. But on a swing trade, if I'm really considering taking a swing trade at GBP USD in the fund, I'll be looking for short trade, not long trade. Especially I spoke to a few of my friends who are professional traders in the big institutions here in the UK, and they're all saying, well, you're not going to be buying the pound, we want to dump it. So really they're waiting for that opportunity to come. If I look at the half-an-hour chart, there you go. You can see the sign of weaknesses there. Loads of PSs, potential professional selling, loads of no demands, and it's gone sideways as it does, and then makes this decision to come down. Currently, we're running on a sort of, they're trying to mark it up as much as they can, but you know, in the news, this is going to come down. This news here, FOMC, which is tomorrow, is important news coming out in the US, and that would have a major impact, as well as some other news that are going to come out today as well. Hello, John. How you doing? I hope you're okay. Right. So PS has been confirmed. No demands are there. And really, what do I want to do here? Right now, I want to wait for it to come down into the trigger line area. I want to see a change of behavior. And as I said, I would like to trade this on the short side in the fund. I'm not going to trade this on a long whatsoever. But as a scalper, which I love doing, I enjoy doing scalping, and I've done it many times in this room. I want to see opportunities in the lower time frame where this trend is still going up. I might get opportunity on a long, but only for a short period of time, say 5 minutes, 8 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes maximum, not too long. I don't want to hang around too much. I want to see if I can get some trades going. The other thing I noticed is this one here. This is a sign of weakness. This bar here, this long, very high volume bar, and that's what you can see is pushed down. So this is like almost like a spring, and that's what happens. The market goes sideways. You get a spring, and then it pushes down below that level. So it's very important to look at the background, see what's going on. Look at your chart and see what the general direction is before you make a decision on a swing trade and want to stay in the trade for, say, 2, 3, 4 hours. Okay, So for me, it's really, I see really weakness. So the professionals are coming in. The second highest volume is this one here, potential professional buying, which was never confirmed. That's a sign of weakness. Then you had potential professional selling did get confirmed. Not much volume there. Nevertheless, there is a bit of volume there. And then you had this one, the third highest, potential professional buying, never got confirmed. This is a sign of weakness. So you can see majority of the strength principles are not getting confirmed. And that is a good telltale sign that this market is probably going to drop. The other thing I noticed is as they try to push it up, they try to push the market up, you don't get much volume there. You see the volume gets smaller. There's no interest. Professionals, as I said to you, I've spoken to a few of them. They said, no, we're not interested in higher prices anymore. We have taken it to the top and now we're going to dump it. And this is what he said to me. This is the terminology they use. Basically what it means is that they want to sell. They want to get into the act and sell. They don't want to push higher prices. And currently we're running at 1.21. Now let's have a look at the 15 minutes chart. As we zoom in now, we might get potential long trade setups purely because we can see it on the higher time frame. The trend is still bullish. They're trying to push it up. And you can see it's a bit of volume coming in. And you got this one here, very high volume, sort of third highest volume of the day so far. And it's really not of the day, of today really is the highest volume. And that happened in the news, the 9:30, where we were looking at the news. At 9:30, flash manufacturing PMI in the UK, and that's the one that I traded with the professional in a different system. But really, they knew that this is going to push up. They marked up the market, up, and now they're going to bring it back down. So really, that was the point. And now, if we see this coming down to this level, then this will go lower and lower, and it will come down at some point. Probably waiting for those news in the Canadian dollar and the US dollar that's coming out later on today. So they might be sitting back on the fence right now and just observing, letting the retail trader get themselves involved as much as they want, because they know they're going to bring the prices down. They're going to dump it. And you can see this is not buying. This is not strength, because the bars, if they are buying going on, this would have been much higher now, and it would be continue pushing out. You would have had test appearing, you would have had shakeout appearing, and then yes, there's they probably push up the prices. So as this is a live chart, all we can do is analyze and be patient. Very important. I emphasize this many times for those newcomers, because I know there are a lot of you who have joined recently, and you wanted to know exactly how you prepare yourself for a trade. And really, patience is something that you need to practice. And it doesn't matter if you sit in front of the screen for 2 hours and don't take one trade. It doesn't really matter, because if you're not trading, you're not losing. All right? And you don't think, oh, it's going up, maybe I should just go in and buy. Believe me, when you actually put in money in, it will come back down on you and it will stop you out. So you need to make sure you follow all the rules, which I will go over bit by bit and regularly, and make sure everybody follows those rules, because to stick to the rules, you always increase your probability of success. Now, what's going on here after that news, 9:30? That PS appeared, never got confirmed. As I said, they marked it up. And this is what my friends told me around 8 o'clock in the morning. I said to them, what do you think? And the news, what's going to happen? He said there's going to be a push-up. We are looking for a push-up. You can see before the news, the market was really not going anywhere. There was no interest. Obviously, it was too early for them to get themselves involved. Around 7:30, they get themselves involved. That's what they do in the UK. Around 7:30, they come in and then they put in a bit of volume in they buy, because they know in the market is going to push up. And that was a potential professional buying that appeared. It was a test there, and that even though it didn't get confirmed on my chart, but on several other charts I looked at, it was confirmed. And that's where you can see that pushed up in the news, because they want to mark it up. And now it's basically they lost interest now. Again, they're just not doing anything. They let the market do what it does with the retail traders, and then the professionals will get involved in the news again. All right. Now, if I go to 1 minute chart, potential professional selling on that particular news time, 9:30, you can see very high volume. PS was never confirmed. There was a test, and they pushed it up further. So this would have been a good entry point for around 4 or 5 minutes, 6 minutes. As I said to you, as a scalper on a lower time frame, say 1 minute chart, you get opportunities, whether it's long or short. It doesn't really matter, because you don't want to stay in the trade for too long. You want to stay in for 4 or 5 minutes and make some profit, and then just either get filled or just increase your stop loss until you get filled. So what's going on now on the 1 minute chart? We're still above the trigger line, but really not going anywhere. So I don't want to get involved with this trade yet, but definitely is on a rise, especially since 9:30 this morning. All right, there was a shakeout as well. It's a good telltale sign, and that happened before the news, and you could see that in majority of the time frames that this market is going to push up in the news, and it did. They marked it up, they pushed it up, but really, what am I looking at here for as far as the scalp trade goes? I want to trade this on a long. Why? Because I'm above the trigger line. I've got a good strength behind me. It's pushing up, but really I want to see more tests appearing now. Okay, I've got a test there, but then there was a no demand. So, but there's not much volume there either. So the professional are sitting on the fence and not doing much really. They're just allowing it to carry on until the news, which will happen in about where are we now? About another half an hour or so, 35 minutes, where the news is going to come out. So let's have a look at the lower time frame now. That usually gives me an idea for analysis purposes on my 1 minute chart. See what's happening on the 1 second chart. Okay, and let's go back to where since in the morning, since 12 o'clock, they've been marking this up a bit, pushing it up, and as you can see, really is slightly on a rise. So the highs are getting higher, and the lows are getting higher as well, but not so obvious. And that's the reason I said that if you want to trade, you want to trade with the trend, because the trend is your friend. And but as a scalper, you can do both in a sense. Sometimes you can go anti-trade, but only for a short time. And if you're not experienced enough, then do not use real money. Use your simulation or paper money, and just to get the hang of it, and then try it with real money. Okay, that's for the new people. Now 5 second chart, you can see on a 5 second chart they're pushing it up, but really there is not much there. The buying I can see is getting lower, the volumes, so there's no really interest. This market, they're trying to keep it up, they try to plug it as much as they can, but now the weakness starting to appear. But really, whether they're going to push it up a bit further, we'll see. It looks like they want to up mark it up, because I think in the news this is going to come down. There's a lot of sign of weakness, and he was telling me that my friends were telling me that we're waiting towards the end of the week on Thursday and Friday to dump it, and it's probably I would see lower prices during those 2 days when we do our live sessions, and hopefully we get some trades going as well. But I want to see 10-second chart. You can see the 10-second chart is pushing up. Really, they're marking it up slowly, and as I said, we might get opportunity on a long, on a 1 minute chart, for example, or 30-second chart. We'll see. But currently on a 15-second chart, I'm still below the trigger line. The potential professional buying wasn't confirmed. Now, if this continues go up above that trigger line and you get continuous strength, then yes, it might push up a bit further, which we might have opportunity to take a trade for a short time. 30-second chart. Again, on a 30-second chart, you can see we're way above the trigger line. PS has been confirmed, the decent volume. Then that was where the news happened, okay, today. And you can see it's pushed up, marked up, and there's no, now we're under that level. It's not really going much up. So because the professionals are sitting aside now, waiting for the news to come out, and that is what they do. But really, would I want to go into a trade here? The answer should be no, because the market is not going anywhere. It's almost gone sideways now. So I just have to be patient and wait. Now, so now what I look for is a direction, which I'm not seeing right now. All right. So I just need to wait and be patient and revisit this chart. I don't want to even mark this particular chart on my entry, because I'm not happy with what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a very low bars and not much volume there. And that's why you can see it's gone sideways. And the reason it does that purely because the professional is not involved. All right. The professionals are sitting and waiting for that news. Let's have a look at the Euro USD quickly, see whether there is any potential. I'm going to keep looking at different charts to see if I can get a potential scalp. Euro USD, you can see, if I just start with, let's start with the 4-hour chart. You can see its weakness there also. No demand has appeared, failed test. And really, you should be shorting this right now. You're below the trigger line, and this is probably going to finish as a down bar today. You can see the volumes are increasing, the selling. The test has failed, and the no demand did get confirmed. There is a change of behavior. I mean, I would have seen that, I would probably be in the trade short on a swing trade. But you can see the general trend is down. So potentially, again, with the euro, the same as the GBP USD, the cable, I will be doing the same. I want to do a short trade. The pound at the moment is still resisting that down move, because they're going to make the move in the news during this week. So the 1-hour chart, you can see there's weakness. Potential professional buying hasn't been confirmed. Shakeout did not get confirmed. The only confirmed principle that we have is this too, the test, and then finally they did a no demand, and then it came down. As you can see, it came to that level. So that could have been an entry point after that no demand. But now I want to wait for it to come into this level below the trigger line. I want to see increasing volumes of the selling, and really looking at the background, there's weakness there. There's definitely weakness there. You can see the trend. What's going on with the trend is coming down. We're getting the lows are getting lower. Okay, this is the low, this one here, and then you got another low here, and you got another low here. Now I won't be surprised if this continues to go lower than that level. So definitely looks for a short trade. If I want to trade this on an hourly chart, I'm not looking for a long trade, I'm looking for a short trade. And you can see the lows are getting lower, and I expect this to go a bit lower than this level into this area here. Probably they take it to the area where it's going to be 106,000 range probably. So we'll see what happens. Now if I look at the half an hour chart, there you go, half an hour chart. Really, that's the chart I trade in the fund, and that's the chart I really love, purely because it's a good chart. It will give you a proper analysis, the half an hour chart, especially because of the times that comes in the trades from 7:30 every half an hour. So PS have been confirmed twice. No demand. We've got weakness behind us. This is going to go lower. It's not going to go higher. It's going to go lower. You can see the weakness is there. So I really don't see this market pushing up anytime soon. So we're probably going to be looking for short trades in a lower time frames as well. 15 minutes chart, PS has been confirmed. PB wasn't confirmed. We are about to go below the trigger line, and if it does go below the trigger line, you want to see no demand appearing in multiple time frames to your 15 minutes chart, and make sure you're in the same trend alignment before you make a decision to go in. But it does look weak, and I can see the increase, the high volume there, and that's the reason that this market is going down. That potential professional buying that was never confirmed is a sign of weakness. And as you can see in the background, there's a lot of weakness there. There's a lot of uptrusts. There's no shakeouts about, and there's most of the tests and potential professional buying have failed. It's a sign of weakness. Now, if I look at the 5 minutes chart, you can see again the 5 minutes chart, market is going down. So where do you want to be? You want to be trading this market on the downside rather than upside. So really, if I just expand this chart, a 5 minutes chart, potential professional selling wasn't confirmed. They did a test there, they try to push up, then there was a no demand, and now starting to change back again, a bit of selling coming in, and this is another one, and this will continue to probably gradually go lower. Let's have a look at 1 minute chart. Currently, 1 minute chart, as you can see, the general trend, this professional definitely been selling there, okay, with quite a decent volume at around 8 o'clock this morning, 8:15, which is around 8:45 in Europe zone, and you can see the potential professional buying then came along here with a decent volume, and then finally the highest one, the PS. So these two PSs are in effect, are affecting the chart, and that's why the chart is coming down. You got no demand there, they try to push it up, there's not much volume there, then bring it down, they do a test, they try to push it up. So but gradually they're bringing it down again. It's the same as the pound, and this will go lower. I mean, we had uptrust and no demand, which would have been confirmed. This would have been wonderful, because if it changes behavior and go below the trigger line, I would have entered without hesitation. But I need to be a bit patient and wait for those things to happen. But let's have a look at 30-second chart. Got PS again appear, uptrust didn't get confirmed, and if I squeeze the chart a bit, you can see there was a PS there, and that's why it's gradually coming down, quite a decent volume. As I said, again, they tried a PB there, with a decent volume, and then finally this one here, the PS, which was confirmed on a 1 minute, but on a 30-second wasn't. And that's why you need to have a look at multiple time frames all the time, all right, to make a decision. You just don't make decision on one time frame. Look at multiple time frames. Make sure you understand, you analyze the chart in the morning before you start trading. Analyze it and see what direction the market has been going. Have a look at all your principles, and then you could plan your trades during the day as you go along on the when you get all the principles appear in the right places. So ideally I want to short trade this, but I want to be a bit patient and wait. I can actually mark this as much. I want to be into this area. If it changes behavior and comes into this area, and what I will do, I just put a marker there for now and just say a 1 minute short. All right. So that doesn't mean I will go in and short trade this. I want to put an alert in, so it will alert me. So whilst I'm looking at other charts, analyzing other charts, if it does get appeared, it will obviously give me an alert on my screen, and then I can come back to this particular chart and examine this chart and see whether there is the right condition for me to enter. What I want to see is a change of behavior by the time it gets to this area. Continuous red, I want to see no demands appearing in the process, or uptrust, or both together, and getting confirmed, because I've got PS confirmed there with a very decent volume. It's actually the highest volume almost. Yeah, it is the highest volume of the day, and that's why the weakness will come in. It's just the news that are going to come out, some headlines also that are important to be aware of. But really, apart from that, I think that position is okay for me. I'm just going to be happy to see if I can get a short trade going if that alert gets triggered. Right. Let's have a look at some other chart. Let's have a look at gold as well. And really, and this is let's have a look at the higher time frame, daily chart first. I mean, let me just remove all of these. Let's see if I've got any questions coming. Osama, you started to sell Euro USD. Okay. Okay. It could be because you must be using the Center Pro. So you're using the Center Pro, then obviously there are no trigger lines in there, and usually there are more opportunities come about on the Center Pro. But the VSA Lite is much. You might get less opportunity in a sense, but you will get much higher. It will get much higher probability. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, I can see it on Center Pro as well that you could short it, but on the VSA Lite, you want to be waiting. But anyway, let's come back to gold and have a look at gold, and you can see the PS, very high volume, and that's why I think this market will not go up much higher than that level currently, which went up to that level, 2071 level, and now it came down to this level, which is 1615. And then they pushed it up into 1961. Now they're bringing it back again gradually. But you can see the telltale sign of this market is weak. And, majority of the strength principles haven't been confirmed. And you currently we are running on the downside. The behavior has changed, and you can see it's continued to come down. The PS wasn't confirmed. Nevertheless, if it goes below the trigger line with continuous weakness and again no demand now appearing, this will go a bit lower. Yep, absolutely correct. Or someone saying it gives me top reversal on the 5 minutes. Yep, that's fine. And also you will miss by GBP. Yep, it is marking up now. Yep, no problem. Let's have a look at the 30 minutes chart quickly on the gold. Hamid, I will also have a look at for you as well. It's asking me to ask for BTC USD on the bitmap, 5 minutes. Okay, I'll have a look at it for you, Hamid. Actually, let me do that for you now, and then come back to gold, because you want to see if you got a setup there. Let's have a look. BTC. BTC USD on the bitmap. Okay, 5 minutes chart. Right. Now, this is the area of interest for trading purposes. This is the area of interest. Okay. You got a shakeout there. Got potential professional buying with a decent volume. And you've got, I have a feeling they're going to push it up because of this. They've pushed it down. It's like a spring, and now they're going to push it back up. You got a test there, get confirmed, and now you're starting to go above the trigger line, but you still haven't got the trend changing. Now, let's have a look on the 1 minute chart. Yeah, I mean, on 1 minute chart, you can see there was a test there, potential professional buying, but that test did not happen in where the green area is. The trend is still hasn't changed. So that wouldn't be an entry point for me, because I need to see a complete change of behavior, you know, and not only 1 dot, but also 5 dots at least when I get a test. So that wouldn't be an entry point, but I can see it's come back up, it's changed behavior, it's pushed up, failed test, it's tried to come down, now it's starting to push up again. So it does look like, yes, you could position yourself for the 5 minutes, because I think the setup for a long trade is about there. It's going to take probably another 5 or 10 minutes before you get a complete setup. But if I look at a 2 minutes chart, I've got a test there, potential professional buying. I probably would say yes, you could go ahead and long this. But on a 5 minutes chart, I want to wait for a complete change of behavior. Only 1 dot is sufficient, Hamid, and then you can go ahead and buy. On the 3 minutes chart, the test, and potential professional buying, change of behavior, and you've gone above the trigger line, and really, it's a good setup for a long trade. 4 minutes chart, nothing there on a 4 minutes chart. We're still way below the trigger line. And 5 minutes chart, as you can see, is changing behavior. So if it changes behavior, I think, you know, which it will probably will do, then you're probably looking for a long trade setup there as well. So it's all setting up, Hamid. Yeah. Okay. Right. Let's go to the Euro USD. And 1 minute chart. Yep, you're welcome, Hamid. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't yet enter this trade on the Euro USD. I want to be a bit patient. I want to see a complete change of behavior. I haven't seen that yet. And I really, as I position myself, I'm quite happy with that positioning actually, because I want this to come down. We get a continuous weakness, and I want to see no demands appearing. If I look at 5 seconds, you got no demand there. PB didn't get confirmed. Yeah, there is definitely weakness there, but obviously it's gradual. They don't want to bring it down too quick. So really, for me, I want to, wait for it to come down properly, and then get no demands. I mean, when I see that on a 5-second chart, that makes me think, still not ready for a short trade. Especially, I want to enter around there. So I want to see this continuing to get weakness. I want to see a lot of selling bars, not buying bars. At the moment, I'm seeing more buying bars than selling bars. So they're trying to keep market up, because, as I said, the news coming out, by the way, in about 8 minutes, 7 minutes, 10 minutes time, 10, 12 minutes time, that news coming out. So we're going to be looking at the Canadian dollar as well. Let's actually do that now. You see, I'm not happy to go ahead and trade this on a short yet. So I'm going to be waiting and be patient. But let's have a look at the Canadian dollar against the USD. Oh, I can say USD CAD. Yeah, that's better. Okay. And now, look, it's gone sideways. The news coming out. No demand. All the tests has failed. Potential professional buying has failed. This is going to go lower. In the news, it's going to go lower. Okay. We're below the trigger line, the PS. I actually might take a trade on this on a short. I might actually decide to do that, because I think it's going to go lower. Let's have a look at 5-second chart quickly. Yeah, it's gone sideways. Potential professional buying hasn't been confirmed. Still trying to mark it up as much as they can before the news. And the news is coming out, in about 10 minutes time, just 11 minutes time. But really, 10 seconds. This one here, PS. You see the professional have come in with a very large volume and has sold. Okay, so because they know something in the news that's going to happen, and what we can see from our analysis of the chart is this is generally weak. They're trying to mark it up, and they want to get the retail traders involved, coming in, mark it up, buying, thinking it's going to push up, but they have sold there, so it's not going to go higher than that level. It's actually going to come back down in the news. So 15-second chart. Again, there's a lot of PSs there, and this one here, the decent volume as well, trying to push it up, and the final PS wasn't confirmed, but look, it's gotten sideways for a bit before it makes a decision to probably go lower. And you can look at the background, and you can see the background is that the market is generally going down. It's not going up, it's going down. So I really feel that in the news this is going to push down. "30-second chart, we're below the trigger line, started to see change of behavior. Obviously, we have seen this sideways moves, and really now going below that test level. And this is probably going to go lower, but it might just play out for a bit before the news. And this is a decent volume as well. It's coming in. Yeah, it looks like the short is setting up on a 1 minute chart. Got no demand there. Finally change behavior. Now let's see if they're going to take it lower than that level. Right, so I think it's setting up for a short trade. And taking it to that level. Let's see what happens. Whether they're going to push it back up again. Yeah, they're keeping it in the range. That's what they're doing. They're keeping this market in the range. And really, this is almost a sideways moves. Really, it's not neither going up or down. They're keeping it in that level, in that range. And this range here, getting near the news now, and that's what's going to happen. But I might actually, have a go at this because I think this is going to go lower. Potential professional buying wasn't confirmed. There was a PS there, decent volume. They tried to test it, push it up once, but there's not much volume there as they try to push it up. It's come back down. Then they try to push it up a few tests, and then finally no demand came in. And the last test that they did just failed as well. So really, but they're keeping it in this range, as you can see. They're not going much higher or lower. And if I go down on the 10-second, starting to change behavior, they've done a shakeout. So I want to be below this shakeout if it comes back down. Let me just place a marker there. 10-second chart. Yep, quite happy with that. 15-second. 30-second. And 1 minute. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. If it does come below that level and continuous weakness, then it's probably going to go lower. And I won't be surprised if the news comes in and it goes lower, because the US, news going to come out in Canada, probably going to lower this market a bit further down. So I might take an opportunity to do a trade on this. Actually, I've got no demand there. I'm below the trigger line. It's changing behavior. I've got 6 minutes to news. I might just experiment with this, just for everyone to see, and and just to see the volatility in the news. And this is the reason that we say you should not trade. So I don't mind doing it, just to show everyone. That's not a problem. But I want to short trade this. I don't want to long trade this. I want to see how high it's going to go. If it does, before I go in a short trade. I'm still below the trigger line, and I've got change of behavior, but I want to see whether this behavior is going to change again, which probably will do. See, as it's trying to push up, the volumes are getting smaller. Every time there's buying going on, it's getting smaller. And really, to me, there seems to be more high selling going on than buying. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put small amount in. not a lot, on an up bar, and I want to actually put it there because it's going to be in the news coming out. Don't want to get stopped out, so I'm just gone short. The reason I've gone short is I'm below the trigger line, got sign of weakness, got no demand, and I just want to experiment this in the news as well, and just to show everyone not to do, because of the volatility, not to be in a trade. So but I can see that there's definitely weakness there. So we're just going to sit in this trade and see how it goes. And if you have any questions, please put them into the chat area. If you are doing any trades as well and you've done successful trade, just share the charts with us and then explain a little bit about it so I can let everybody else know as well while we sit in this trade and see how it goes. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to narrow it for a bit because I want to be fast on this when the news happen, because there's going to be a bit of volatility and I want to be able to chase it when I can and try to maximize because it might shoot up and then come back down, or it might go down and then come up, but majority of the principles I'm seeing is weakness. There's no interest. They're trying to buy, but look, there's no interest in the volume. There's not more buying going on. Now we've got about 2 minutes to news. So as you can see, the market has gone sideways before the news. And then when the news comes in, there will be a sudden move. So we're just going to keep an eye on that and see. Okay, now what I can do also before the news, if this pushes down a bit further over £2-3, then I will bring my stop loss into a profit, small profit, so the news would not. So let me just bring that. Yeah, okay, now I'm quite happy to bring my stop loss into slight profit, not too much. I don't want to get stopped out. Now I'm quite happy. Oh, I got stopped out. All right, I made a profit there anyway, but doesn't matter. I'll chase it too quick because I know it's going to go down on an up bar. Let's see if it's going to be an up bar. Now the news is going to come in. There you go, pushed up. Now let's see the next bar. A good thing I made a better profit there anyway, but my stop loss was there. Let me see if it reaches it or not. You see, you don't know with the news, and that's the reason you should not trade in the news. I was just trying to experiment it, and I would have been probably in a bad situation right now. But luckily I got stopped out with a bit of profit. But let's see. I mean, my stop loss would have been there. Okay, so it still hasn't reached it. But I just want to see whether the next bar is going to be a down bar or not. Or it might be an up bar. So we'll see. You don't know in the news. There's a potential professional selling now. Let's see if it gets confirmed or not. Because there's definite weakness there, but they're pushing up people who've been selling all these areas or buying, well, the buyers are okay because it's pushed up, but the sellers would have been all caught because they could see there's a weakness there in the market. And what do? They manipulate the market. So when the market is weak, they usually, what they do, they push up the market, they mark it up, so they stop at all the people who've been selling into this area. You see, it's come to this area exactly where professional been selling. All right, that area there, which I told you, and here. They've been selling there and there. So what they were interested to, the reason they allow this to happen is because to get the majority of the sellers out of the way, the retail traders. That's what they say 82% or 90% of the retail traders lose, is because of this. That the professionals do it on purpose, because the professionals can absorb the amounts, because they have got, they're the market makers. They have got loads of money. They do not mind if they go 50 million pounds under. They have got the support. All right, so they're able to do that. So now potential professional selling has been confirmed, and it's the highest volume of the day, obviously in the news. And now, would it go higher than that level? That was my stop loss, which hasn't been really triggered, but I'm just going to put it there. This one is the highest point. Now, I'll be very surprised if it goes above that level. And as you can see, again, if I want to trade this, probably be on a short side, not a long side, because the market is generally going down, and it might not do anything now. It might even go into this sideways move. It might just go into this area a bit and then come back up again and come back up again and then go back down again. So this is what is going to happen. So it's going to be into this area for a period of time after the news. But the professionals, what they done is basically what the market has done is marked it up for a bit. Now there's not much volume anymore. Let me just expand this and see it bar by bar. See, there's no interest to go further up. Now the professionals sit aside, and then they might come in and put in a bit of large volume in to sell, to bring the prices down again, because there's no interest. As you can see in these bars, the buying bar, the two buying bars, there are no interest here. So it's going to come back down. So I'm going to leave those lines there anyway, just for my observation. And I wanted to go and trade this on a short here. So short trade, short 1 minute. I just put 1 minute short. Okay, so just reading a couple of emails are coming through from you, some of you, just to see if they want me to do anything. And no, that's fine, no problem. Okay, now I think the news just messed it up now for a bit. So we're going to be looking at some other charts. Right, just going to take a minute pause. I'm going to put the GBP USD. Osama, are you still shorting the... Actually, let's have a look at the euro. You said you're shorting the trade. Are you still short the euro USD? I mean, this is where I wanted to be shorting, but it's never materialized. It's pushed up. They're marking it up, and I think they're doing the same thing in the pound. They're marking it up because later on this week and next week it's going to come down. They're going to dump it. So potentially we might get opportunity now as a scalp on the long side. If it discontinue, we get test. I would be looking to long this trade potentially. PS, another PS. There's loads of PSs in the 5-second chart, but the ones that are important to me is the PB because the direction the market is going up, as you can see. So they're more important to me, the strength. And you can see they're doing no demand. PS, no demand didn't get got confirmed just now. PS, they're not interested. I think they're taking a high enough. They want to bring it down at some point, but not yet ready. But let me know if any of you in a trade. Please do let me know. Osama, are you in a trade at the moment in the euro? Actually, what I need to do, Osama, I think at some point I want to bring you in because obviously you working with us at Trade Guider, and you're the reseller in the Middle East. So at some point I want to bring you in, and so you can also explain a little bit as well, and introduce yourself to everyone as well. That would be good. So I will organize that with you at some point, and it would be good to come in, and for everyone else as well. Right, I'm going to go silent for a minute, and be back in 1 minute. Just get a glass of water, and I'll be back in just under a minute. Thank you. Right, I'm back, and I was busy for some minutes. No problem, no worries, Osama. And you got to stop that. Well, I'm not surprised because there was no setup for short, as I said to you. But as long as you made profit, that's what's important. But really, really, looking at the euro USD and the pound, the cable, really, really, they're marking it up. And as I said to you, there's a lot of sign of weakness there, and they will dump at some point. No problem, Osama. Yeah, we arrange it, and can bring you in. That will be good. And I will arrange it with yourself, and we hopefully we arrange that sometime this week. Right. Anyone in a trade at the moment? Please let me know if anybody's in a trade right now. Are you all sitting, waiting, or are you in a trade? No problem, Osama, for sure. Anyone doing any trades at the moment? Tracy, GBP, CHF? Yeah, no problem. Let's have a look at that. Are you in a trade there? Because I know Martin also you do that as well. Excellent. Paul saying just looking. That's fine. Hamid also saying not yet. Tracy also saying I'm waiting for the 15 minutes. Oh, you're already in. Okay. All right. On a 15 minutes. Okay. Oh, that's perfect. Well done, Tracy. Well done. That's a very. I mean, you went in the after the test confirmed. You went in, and you're still in. Okay, that's perfect. So you've been in this trade for what? How long have you been in this trade, Tracy? Oh, you got stopped out, and then you went in again on a down bar previous to the up bar. Okay, this one. You got stopped out there, so you went in this one. You got stopped out, and now you went again in that down bar, and now you're still in the trade. That's fine. Yeah, it does. It's a good trade. This one is a good trade on the upside, and obviously this happened in the news at 9:30 in the UK. There was a potential professional buying. It did push up. There was a test, and it's following up, and it's gradually going up. So yeah, it's a good trade there. I mean, yes, you're absolutely right. The pound currently is marking up. You're right, absolutely correct. But try as a swing trader, you know, try to be careful because I think they will bring it down at some point this week. 5 minutes chart. There you go. Test. Because PS wasn't confirmed in itself. That's the sign of strength. You got already changed your behavior, gone above the trigger line, and this would have been 2 entry points for you on a 5 minutes chart. And let's have a look at 1 minute. I might actually do a trade there as well. I'm way above the trigger line now. There's few no demands have coming in, which makes me think they want to probably bring it down a bit, but not so obvious on a 1 minute chart to take a trade right now. On a longer time frame, so let me have a look at 30 minutes chart. Yeah, PS has been confirmed. Couple of PS, no demand, uptrust, no demand. You see the pound, we are getting a lot of signals of weakness. So this markup are manipulation, all right? They're pushing the market up against the sellers, but it's just the high volume there, which will happen obviously in the news. They're marking it up because to stop everyone out on the weakness, and then at some point they will bring that weakness back in again, and that's why you're seeing all of these PSs appearing. So, you know, yes, you get opportunities to do a long trade whilst this is happening, whilst you've got the same trend alignment on the upside, but really there is definite weakness there, you know, in the pound. When it will appear, I feel that, you know, from what I've heard, probably end of the week and next week probably they're going to bring it down. So they say they will dump it at some point, and we're waiting for that to happen because we don't believe this is going to keep pushing up. The pound has been the highest. So as you can see from this chart, I can see only weakness. Really, I do not see strength. This is markup in the news, and that's what the PS appeared. And would they want to push a higher at that level? Not really, no, because if the professional coming with a very high volume and sold there on a 30 minutes chart, you know, this will turn out to be going back down, and really don't see this pushing up higher. You can see as it's trying to push up, that there's no volume anymore, no interest. And now we're looking at a sort of like a short trade potentially setting up for the 30 minutes chart. I would say probably Thursday, when where are we now? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. I think it will set up potentially on Thursday. Now, 15 minutes chart, and that's what Tracy is taking, and Martin also. Martin, you're not in it. No, you're not. Okay, that's fine, no problem. You're waiting for another test to go in. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's have a look at the 10 minutes chart as well. There is a no demand fail test. Yeah, I don't think it's going to push up. PS has been confirmed. So really all the telltale sign, as I said, look, the PS and the test they did on an 11 minutes chart after the news, and to push it up a bit further. But look, the volumes, there's not much there. It's getting lower. So I think they will bring it down at some point in time. And really, as you can see down a 1 minute chart, there's loads of no demands. There's no interest to go higher. And now you're probably going to see a bit of weakness coming in and come back down. Let's have a look at 10-second chart quickly. On the 10-second chart, no demand below the trigger line. PS there, and we are just below the PS now as well. So starting to drop down now on the lower time frame. It's a 10-second chart. So 5-second chart, also the same trend. PB has been confirmed, nevertheless it's still going down. 15-second chart, same, PS has been confirmed, and we are below the trigger line. On the 10-second chart, I saw no demand as well. There's a shakeout they've done in 30-second. Now, if this comes below this shakeout, continue to come down, below this shakeout, this is going to drop further. All right, so I think there's a bit of weakness starting to appear now in the GBP CHF. Tracy, make sure you put your, I'm sure you have put your stop loss in a profit, so try to maximize, because I can see from a lower time frames, this is going to drop a bit further down now. You have done. Excellent. Perfect. Right. So now, 1 minute chart. Still, there's weakness there. But would I want to go into this trade above the trigger line? Well, potentially, maybe yes, for a short period of time. But really, I want to be below the trigger line to get higher probability. So I really want this. If this market is really starting to have weakness, I want to be below that level. You see, that level that happened in the news, this big bar, is the level of my, what I would say, if this comes down into this area, this market continues to come down to this area with a series of weakness and get no demands appearing more and more, uptrust as well, then yes, I really want to be below this level, into this area here, below that line. And it might not happen today. As I said, there is definite weakness there. It might happen next week, or it might happen later on this week. This is a live chart. But for me, if I want to trade this, I want to wait for it to do that. But however, I'm not going to restrict myself only short trade. I want to also say that, yes, this might be a temporary short. And then if I get test happening, changes behavior, and then I'm above the trigger line, I've got potential professional buying. Okay, it wasn't confirmed, but nevertheless, I'm above the trigger line. Then it might push back up again. And finally, let me just quickly have a look at the daily chart of this particular market. And you can see potential professional buying definitely happened there. That's where you can see the market pushed up. There was a test. So for a swing trade, this would have been a perfect entry point. And as it pushed up to that level, then brought it back down, and then there was another potential professional buying appeared, which is a decent volume as well. But now, to me, it's gone into a sort of like a wavelength, really not going any direction. Is basically is going a bit down, and then up and a bit down and a bit up and a bit down now, and they've done a test. And see where they've done the test? They've done the test in the same area, the two tests that they've done, and they want to push it up. And potentially we're still in the weak area, we're still below the trigger line, but this particular bar is an up bar, but there's not much volume there now as it's trying to go down. I can see that they want to mark it up. You can see the markup. They have a bit of volume coming in, push it up every time there's a bit of buying going on. So they want to either stabilize the market or keep it as high as possible, mark it up as high as possible until the weakness will set back in and come back down again. But really, this would have been a wonderful trade. Potential professional buying appeared there, as you can see, and very high volume. When you see that on a daily chart, and you see a change of behavior has happened above the trigger line of that potential professional buying. And obviously the final checklist is to wait for a test, which has happened there, getting confirmed, and this would have been an entry point. And as you can see, is pushed up further. So this would have been a good 5 or 6 days trade that you could have taken as a swing trader. But now what I'm looking at is this area here, which is interested. And you can see it's pushing up, but there's no volume. There's no interest of the buying. There's definitely weakness there. And if it comes down, just for you to know, if it comes down below this level and clears this level of the test, and you still got the sign of weakness, this will go a bit lower, and this will happen next week. In the next few weeks, I will see that happening. I don't see really there's much strength there, and I can see as it's trying to push up, the bars getting smaller and smaller. So there's no interest from the professional side to push it much higher than that. They already made their money at that point, and they pushed it up as high as they can, made their money, and now they're letting it to come back down again. So I think this will get dumped at some point as well, as the professionals say it. Right, so now 4-hour chart. I want to see if I can get any scalps going in any charts. Just gonna go from chart to chart very quickly. I do apologize for that, because I want to see if I can get any potential scalps going. I only done one trade today. I want to do as many as possible. So let's have a look at gold quickly. And the gold, really, it's gone the mushroom effect almost, and it's coming down, and it's gone a bit sideways for a bit before it makes its decision to go further down, and the final test is failed. The 1-hour chart. So if I want to trade the gold, really, I probably want to trade it on short side, because you can see the general trend is down. But currently we're running on an up bar, but the trend is still down. But there is a potential professional buying, so there might be a bit of rotation pushing up. So we have a look and the lower time frame and have a look and see what's going on. 30 minutes chart. There's a lot of shakeouts and PBs and tests, and now finally PB as well. They want to probably push this up a bit further. Now if it does continue to go up a bit and we get increasing volume, which we're starting to see a bit of buying going on, and it changes behavior and we get a test, yes, we might get higher prices to come in gold. It does look like it might go into this phase at the moment, and it's starting to go into that phase of moving it up a bit. And the only thing I notice is also the low that they're taking it, and the next low is getting higher. So that's why I think we might get higher prices in gold. 15 minutes chart. There's a potential professional selling. Majority of the signs of strength hasn't been confirmed, and the volumes there are increasing in the selling bid. Now the buying is coming in, so there's going to be a little bit of fight between potentially the retail traders, and until you get a very high volume coming in with the professionals coming in there. This one here, potential professional selling, hasn't been confirmed, and again this one here, again they're doing. So really this is the highest volume I can see in the chart, and I really feel that it might continue to push up a bit, so we'll see. 5 minutes chart, you can see the general trend is down and we're still below the trigger line, but there is a potential professional buying there. Now if this pushes up, go above the trigger line, this level, I want to be in this level, and let's put that in for now because I want to trade this potentially on a long. If it does go above that, yeah, I'm quite happy with that. If it does continue to go above that level, I'm quite happy to say 1 minute long. But I want to also position myself for short. All right, I don't want to restrict myself, and I want to potentially get a short trade going as a scalp. So I want to come back down to this level, this area, below that test, first test. Actually, this level is better. Yeah, this level is fine. 1 minute short. So if it does get triggered, then I will come and have a look at this and have a stab at it. But this is for 1 minute. Now let's have a look at the lower time frame, 5 seconds, because you get more opportunities in the lower time frame for a scalp, and it's fun when you do it correctly. I want to be below this shakeout. So on a 5 second chart, I want to be around there. 5 second short. Below the trigger line, PS wasn't confirmed, but nevertheless is there. I want to see change of behavior coming down, clearing my alert line and with the weakness behind me, and I want to see uptrust, no demands appearing as well. 10 second chart. You see, that's where my 5 second is. I'm still above the trigger line on 10 seconds, so it's riskier, but nevertheless I don't want to stay too long. Maximum 1 minute, you know, that's what you do. So I'm quite happy with that. Now they've got PS now appearing, so I'm still below that trigger line even on a 10 second chart now. So, and I can see there's a weakness there that's starting to happen potentially. They're marking up, but really there is no, I don't think it's gonna continue too long. You know, it's trying to mark it up for some reason, as they're doing with the pound and the euro today. And I don't know, maybe they want to sell at the top. They want to take it as high as possible before they sell and then dump it on Thursday, Friday. And that's what my friend told me. That could be the reason. So potentially we could do long trades. On a 15 second chart, you can see it's pushing up, and we're above the trigger line. 30 second chart, same, we're above the trigger line. And 1 minute chart, we're starting to go above the trigger line now. And now ideally, if I see test, I might even have a go at it for a long trade, because I want to be where the trend, but I want to see a change of trend to the upside. I want to see test happening now. I want to see shakeout happening now. And yeah, potentially want to trade this on a long. So I think my long there, I'm quite happy with. Just double check something. Yeah, this is going to go a bit higher. It's gone above that PS now. So yeah, it's potentially looking for a long trade. I'm quite happy there actually to be 1 minute long. But I want to see now. I want to see tests. Let's see if I've got any tests. Got shakeout test there, but too far out. I want to see around here, this area. 15 second, couple of three failed tests, and then that test is also there. 10 second. Again, there was a test there. Try push it up. Yeah, so now yeah, this is going to go a bit longer. It's going to be going a bit higher. So I potentially want to trade this on. But I want to see tests now happening. Not seeing tests happening. That's why I'm a bit wary. And the tests are do happen in the lower time frame. They all failed. If they all would have been confirmed, I would have probably gone in and trade this. Let's be have to be a bit careful here. Just squeeze the chart a bit. I want to see the highest volume point. Yeah, we're way above it, so that's fine. Yeah, so now I think potentially this would want to see a test now or a shakeout. That's what I want to see. The reason it's not appearing is for a reason. On the 5 second, I've got test there now. Started to change behavior on the 5 second, which is fine because that's usually happens more regularly in a 5 second. But I just want to see if they do another test. There's no demand there on 10 seconds. If this fails, this is a good sign. This is going to go further up. It has failed. 30 second and 1 minute. It's not an obvious trade to take, but I can see that they are marking it up, pushing it up, and it's gone above the PSs that did appear, and it's now we are in the body of that one there, the first one. But this one here with a decent volume there, and this one is a high volume as well, and we are above it now. So really, it could be that they want to mark it up as they're doing with the pound. There's a question: will the U.S. existing home sales data be bullish or bearish for forex markets? So I'm not sure. Let's ask everyone else in the room. Will the U.S. existing home sales data be bullish or bearish for forex markets? What do you think? Bullish or bearish? Just put bullish or bearish. In the forex, yeah, in the forex markets. Right. I think for the US probably be bullish. I feel because I can see weakness in the pound and the euro in the majority of the charts. It's still pushing up. So there's a couple of no demands, which I didn't want to see. I want to see tests. No demand failed. So probably, yeah. And as soon as I go in, it probably comes back down, right? And the reason I won't go in because I haven't seen any tests. I haven't seen any shakeout. I'm above the trigger line, but I've got a lot of no demands and uptrust and PS, and especially on the higher time frames. If I look at the 5 minutes chart, in the 5 minutes chart, we got potential professional buying. We're just starting to go above, but there's no test. Now let's have a look at the 2 minutes chart. There's no tests apart from these two. There's no tests when that potential professional selling happened. 3 minutes chart, nothing there. And I can see the general trend is down, so that's why I'm a bit wary of going into buying here, because I think this is just short-lived. They're going to bring it back. They just want to get people involved. Say, oh, the gold is going to go up, and then suddenly, bang, bring it back down. 4 minutes chart. It's just a test there. And we're just going above that PB as well, and we're going above that one as well. And yeah, starting to see a decent volume coming in as well. So yeah, this might push up a bit. You might take it to 1840 range, and then bring it down. Now I want to clear that 1840. So I'm going to put my marker there. 1 minute long. I'll be interested. So now I want to go into that area. I want to see this continue pushing up, and I want to see tests. So I'm going to leave it now on this one. Let's go back to GBP USD, see what's going on there. Nothing much. Keeping in that range. Let's see the high and the low of the day actually. 8 o'clock. Market open. That's the lowest they've taken it. And the highest they've taken it is there. All right. So we're still in that range, the daily range, and nothing going on. I really don't want to trade this right now. Right. Let's have a look at the US market. Let's have a look at the US 500, which is a CFD version of the ES on the futures contract. The US 500 is on the CFD side. And you can see that potential professional buying has appeared. The US market will open in about 20 minutes time, and but really not pushing up as much, is pushing down gradually. But let's have a look at the daily chart quickly. PS has been confirmed, but they've done a shakeout and a test. But really, when the shakeout happened, potentially, I like shakeout on a long. If I see a shakeout in strength, I usually do trade on a long side. If I've got a strength behind me and I get a shakeout getting confirmed, I would have entered on a down bar, and you can see it's come back down for a bit, for a day, and then it's pushed up, and then this would have been a 4-day trade, 5-day trade almost. But really, I'll be wary because of this PS. So I'm seeing that the weakness starting to appear now in the US 500. So I think this will come probably down in the US Open. They might try to push up in the US Open, bring a bit of volume in, especially. John, today is open, isn't it? The market. Yesterday was closed due to bank holiday in the US. But I think today is open. I have checked it and it's fine. So yeah, so you're looking at really weakness starting to appear. It's changing behavior, and um, yeah, it's open today. Yeah. Thank you very much. Right. So now what we are seeing is the last bar, which is today, is a down bar. There's not much volume there yet. Of course, as you can appreciate, it's got another 7 hours to go, just under 8 hours to go. So really, if I want to trade this on a lower time frame, I'll probably be looking at doing a short trade. So if you go have a look at the 4-hour chart, yeah, we've got no demand. PB wasn't confirmed, and that's why I said short trade. You can see change of behavior, no demand appear, and then if this test would have happened, I would have waited to not get confirmed, and it didn't, and then I would have entered on this bar, and I still would have been short. It's almost 12 hours trade on this one, and as you can see, it's still pushing down further. They've done a test, but now we've gone below that test, and really there's weakness there. So definitely short trade the US 500. On the hourly chart, there you go. Very typical setup for a short trade. PS appeared, got confirmed. Nevertheless, the confirmation is not much there, as you can see, but decent volume. It did try push up, and then it's come back down. They tested it, failed. They tested it again, and then it confirmed. It's changed behavior on the upside. Got no demand appeared, and that's no entry point for a short trade. You have to wait for it to change behavior. You need to wait for it to clear your lower trigger line. See, would have been my entry point, this bar here. So it would have been an hour trade that I could have taken on a short. You see that? Because that's cleared your lower trigger line. You got weakness, you got no demand, PS, and currently it's turning out to be an up bar, but on the higher time frame is a short. So overall is a weakness, but as you go in a lower time frame, you might see an up move. So you need to wait for it to change back to the downside, because you want to be with the trend when you're trading in the lower time frames. The PS has also appeared on the 30 minutes chart. Now ideally I want to see a no demand. Now let me see if I've got any no demand anywhere. This is the area of interest where I want to enter the trade. Okay, so I have a look at 15 minutes chart. There's a no demand there. So what I do, let me mark it. I want to see where 20 minutes chart, nothing there, just failed test, which is a good sign. 25 minutes chart, nothing there, but still the trend is the same, it's going down. 26 minutes chart, nothing there, but still the trend and below the trigger line, and trend is there. Failed test, that's a good sign. 27 minutes chart, nothing there, just the no demand there a while ago, and below the trigger line the trend is still down. They've done a couple of tests after that, but really we are below those tests, so that's fine. 28 minutes chart, the PS wasn't confirmed. Nevertheless, the trend is there. Well, we are in the body of the trigger area, so we really want to see whether this is going to continue to go lower, so we keep an eye on that. 29 minutes chart, PB got confirmed, then there was a PS, didn't get confirmed, but nevertheless we still got downtrend and 30 minutes chart. So we only had one no demand appear from 15 minutes chart to 30 minutes chart. All right, so 15 minutes, and I looked at multiple time frame: 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 26, 27, 28, 29. So all of these, I want to see loads of no demands. Okay, one is not sufficient for me on the 15 minutes. I want to see more before I make a decision. Nevertheless, I still will be looking for shorting this trade if I get a no demand in my own chart, and or if I get multiple no demands appearing in the multiple time frames of your from 15 minutes. Because I'm doing the 30 minutes chart, I usually look at 15 minutes to 30 minutes and make the decision. Now if I go down to the lower time frame, say we go to the 5 minutes chart, got no demand there. So if I put that there and I say I'm going to put 5 minutes no demand. Okay, we know the solid lines are usually no demand, so I just put 5 minutes. So I know it's 5 minutes chart. 6 minutes chart, nothing there. 7 minutes chart, nothing there. 8 minutes chart, nothing there. 9 minutes chart, nothing there. 10 minutes chart, nothing there. 11 minutes chart, nothing there. It's only I can see the trend still. That's the only thing I can see in multiple time frames. Yet the trend is all down. There's nothing, no demands, no uptrusts. There you go. There's uptrust, but away from my area, above the trigger line. So to me, really, I'm aware of it, which is a good sign, but really not necessary for me. Actually, we're going to put it in. Let's put it in, and I'm going to put it as I will usually put it as a dotted line, and I'm going to put 13 minutes. Okay, 13 minutes. Let's have a look at 14. There's a no demand on 14. See, this gives you opportunity. It's a solid line, and we put 14 minutes. Put like that, it's fine. So we know 15 minutes. That's on the 15 minutes that I put in. So 15. Okay. And then we have checked other multiple time frames up to 30 minutes, and there is nothing there. Okay, so you can see by doing that, you can see, look, uptrust happened where the PS has appeared. You got 13 minutes, or that's on the 13 minutes, then 14 minutes, 15 minutes, no demand, and then 5 minutes, no demand. All right, so these are not too close to my 30 minutes chart. So I'm still aware of them, but I want to see no demands happening near my time frame or on my own time frame now. And this will give me confidence that this market is going to go lower. Okay, the 1 minute long of the gold has been triggered. So as far as the so let's just say okay. As far as the gold concerns, really, I want to do sorry, the US 500 concerns, I want to do short trade. All right, but the setup hasn't happened. I'm already made my trades, made myself available, and on 30 minutes, I want to see something very important: increase in volume. I want to see a continuous downturn, and I want to see no demand near my time frame. All right, now on a 5 minutes chart, there was a no demand, and now we're going below this shakeout, There's a PB, there's a PS there. The PS is in effect at the moment because we are below the trigger line. And you can see this is going to go lower. 1 minute chart. Nothing there on a 1 minute chart. So would I want to trade the 5 minute chart on a short? The answer is no. And the reason I say no is because you haven't got a trend alignment. Remember, the trend has to be aligned, which means in multiple time frame, if you're doing the 5 minutes chart, got no demand appear there on the 5 minutes chart, but the trend hasn't changed. And I've got potential professional buying, but I can see that the trend is generally going down, but I want to be patient and wait for this trend to change. It's starting to change. It's a good sign. So I want this to continue come lower into this area below the trigger line. And if I go to my 5 minutes chart, this will be my entry point on a 5 minutes chart. You understand? I'm below that shakeout. I'm getting continuous trend alignment, which I need to have on my 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 and 4. So let's have a look at the 2 minutes chart. Yes, no demand there on a 2 minutes chart. Great. So this is definitely setting up for a short trade, but bear that in mind. On a 3 minutes chart, you got no demand as well. The trend is going down as well. You're below the trigger line, but bear in mind the US market will open in about 7 minutes time. So this might push up because a bit of volume will come in. Just something to be aware of. And that's the reason we haven't had the no demand happening on our 30 minutes chart or any time frame near the 30 minutes chart. The nearest one that we've got a no demand is 15 minutes. And that's too far away from me. You know, I want to see no demands happening in 25, 26, 27, 28 area. All right. So, but on a lower time frame, yes, you could potentially trade this on the short side. On a 3 minutes chart, look, no demand, no demand. It's already weak. It's going to go down. Let's try it. I want to do the lower time frame. 2 minutes chart. Let's try the 2 minutes chart quickly. Let me get rid of those. I don't want to confuse everyone. Below the trigger line, there is no demand. And let's have a look. I want to see a change of behavior in 1 minute. I want to be there to start trading. And the reason I'm not seeing that yet, because I think the US market will open, this will push up. There will be better volume coming in. So I hope you understood how to plan your trade on a on a higher time frames, and how to position yourself before you make a decision of taking a trade, because you will increase your probability of success if you do that. And I know it takes time. I do appreciate that. But, you know, it's work. We're trading, and this is our job. And you need to consider it as to put in the time and effort to make yourself at a higher position. When you're taking a trade, you take a trade successfully. So it's your responsibility as an individual to do those tasks. Now it's going down lower. I can see that. So I think it's probably going to go lower. Let's have a look at 5 minutes chart. Yes, no demand, and we're going below that shakeout. And they've just done I don't know if this test is a test yet. No, it isn't. Okay. So now this is going to go lower. This for sure going to go lower. I could see that. But as I said, the US market is opening, so you need to be a bit careful, because in the US market opens, it might continue going down. You know, I might be wrong because it's not the news. It's just the market opens. But sometimes when the US market opens, they put a bit of volume in. They push the market up a bit. So especially if they see a lot of people are got involved into selling, they do the reverse and then they bring it back down again. So, and we're still not clear in this shakeout area completely. This is the area where I want to trigger, where I feel that this is probably going to go lower. I got no demand. I'm below the trigger line, and we'll see. But it's definitely potentially setting up for a short trade if you want to do the US 500 or potentially the ES in the futures. You'll probably be looking for a short trade, not a long trade. You can see the general trend is down, and we're back to that level again, this area here where they pushed it up, and now we come back to this, and it's not going anywhere on the 1 minute chart. This tells me that in the US Open they're probably going to push it up for a bit, bringing some volume, especially with this potential professional buying has appeared. So you need to be a bit careful here. But if it does continue to go lower and it breaks that line that I've got, continues to go lower than that, then it's probably going to see lower prices. And then obviously you want to see no demands and updrafts happening in the 1 minute chart, as well as the majority of the time frame to your, if you're doing the 5 minutes chart, for example, or the 15 minutes chart or the 30 minutes chart in my case. So this is how you plan your trading on a daily basis. Now, I do understand there is a winter trading school at 3, so we're going to run this session to around 2:30 in about 3 minutes time, and then allow you to prepare yourself for that one. Let's have a look at, actually I want to see if I can potentially do a quick trade. Let's have a look at the 10-second. It's going generally down. 15-second, yeah, generally down. So really it's a short trade setup. There you go, 30-second chart. And if it does break that line that's below that shakeout that appeared, and it did, there you go. And the US market is probably going to open in about 2 minutes time. But now it's going to be really a good setup for a short trade. Let's see. Yeah, it's probably going to go lower. 1 second chart. You can see on the 1 second chart, it's dipping down slowly, but surely. It's going south. All right. But as I said, in the US Open, they might push it up. So just be careful. But really, to me, if I want to trade this, it'd probably be on a short side. If I would have seen no demand here, I would have gone in without hesitation. PS now just appeared, got confirmed on the 15-second. And as you can see, it's still going lower. The US market, I'm going to wait actually a few minutes before we finish session. I want to see what's going on here with the US Open, and then we will end today's session. But let's wait. There you go. The US market is opening. There you go. This is what I said to you. You need to be careful. All right. The US market usually most of the time brings a bit of volume in. Let's see if it gets confirmed on all this PS. If it does, I'll be surprised. But let's see. There you go. Didn't get confirmed. Change of behavior. And if you would have gone, and that's the reason I say to you, you need to plan and make sure you follow the rules so you do not enter a trade incorrectly, especially and being aware of all these times where the market's open, and and also following the rules in your VSA on a 30 minutes chart. When I planned everything to do a trade on a short side, I still might want to go short later on if this continues to go down and get no demand appearing, because this is a 30 minutes chart. As you can appreciate, each bar is 30 minutes, but I want to see no demand appearing now. And then obviously look at multiple time frames, see no demands upthrust, or if both together, fantastic. Then obviously, you enter correctly. And this is the reason because once you enter a 30 minutes chart, believe me, I've done it in the fund, you're stuck. Okay, so you have to make sure your positionings are correct, you're following all the rules, and you have, to your best of your ability, have analyzed the chart correctly, and then enter the trade. Because once I enter on a 30 minutes chart, I'm stuck. For 30 minutes, I cannot do anything. I have to wait, and therefore it's vitally important, because when I enter on 30 minutes, I stay for an hour to an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours, and then therefore it's important to enter correctly. So you basically maximize your profit. Okay, so you'll be in a better probability of success. Right, I think we're going to end today's session. If there are any questions, please do let me know. If you Osama, I will contact you at some point, either tomorrow and let you know, and then see if we can organize it for you to come in and talk as well. It would be good, because I know you teach people also in Egypt as well, which I think it would be a good idea for you to come in. And so tomorrow we're going to have our session as normal. Thank you, James. Thank you, Hamid. Thank you, John. Have a lovely rest of the day, everyone. And today is the 21st of February 2023, a live trading room presented to you by Trade Guide, Trade to Win. Enjoy the school event as well. It's going to happen in about just under half an hour for those of you who are part of that. And I'll see everyone tomorrow, same time, and I will confirm everything on a WhatsApp group as well tomorrow. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a lovely rest of the day, and I'll see everyone tomorrow. Bye for now.